In light of the recent NTSB report of this AT-6 accident, where it was blamed on pilot fuel mismanagement and a contributing factor was a leaky fuel valve, there's a simple $2,500 fix that all AT-6 owners should be well aware of and should have already replaced the old cork fuel selector valves in your AT-6 with a new fuel selector valve offered by McFarland Aviation. Let's check it out. Following the crash of this AT-6, they tested the fuel pump and fuel selector valve. The fuel pump operated just fine, but the fuel selector valve, the old cork fuel selector valve, leaked such that if one tank was dry and you selected the fuel selector tank to a different tank, you may get air introduced into the system, as shown here, because the air is leaking past the leaky old cork fuel valve, and you're aerating the fuel and you're losing fuel pressure. Correction.
Aerate.
You're aerating your fuel and losing fuel pressure. A simple test of your old fuel valve can be conducted as follows. If you drain the fuel out of one tank and have plenty of fuel in the other tank and then set the fuel selector valve to off, leave the aircraft overnight or for some predetermined long amount of time, and then come back and check the fuel levels in each tank. If you now have fuel in the what was once empty fuel tank, you have a leaky fuel valve. And here's the quick fix from our friends over at McFarland Aviation, a PMA parts manufacturer approved fuel valve for the AT-6. There's the part number itself, and a very simple installation with just the 1, 2, 3 lines going in and a couple of bolts holding it together, and then the selector valve U-joints themselves, on sale now for just $2,500, far cheaper than losing an entire aircraft. And here's a lot of what you're paying for, the paperwork from the FAA and McFarland Aviation approving this fuel selector valve for nearly all models of the AT-6. And when operating your AT-6 on the left tank, always use the reserve position so you have access to all the fuel in the left tank. And always keep an ample supply of fuel in your tank so you don't have to rely on your superior systems knowledge to extract the last few gallons of gas just to make it to the end of the runway. Thank you so much for your support of this channel, especially the folks over on Patreon that make this content possible. See you here.